Here are 5 very creepy pictures with disturbing backstories. Number 1. The Uninvited Guest. Here is a picture of a bunch of friends having what looks like a fun gathering. They decide to take a group photo. Seems like a pretty normal picture. However, once it was uploaded to Facebook, they realized that there was an uninvited guest at their party. On the far right, we can see what looks to be a young boy smiling at the camera. None of the guests remembered seeing him there, nor did they recognize him. Number 2. Killer X. This is the last photo of Travis Alexander, taken moments before Jodi Arias murdered him in cold blood. She showed up at his house. They fooled around, got into the shower where she took a bunch of photos before killing him. On June 9, 2008, his body was discovered by his friends at his home in Arizona. Alexander had sustained 27 stab wounds, had his throat slit, and suffered a fatal gunshot wound to the head. Number 3. Jonestown Suicide. The People's Temple of the Disciples of Christ was a religious organization founded in 1955 by Jim Jones. By the mid-1970s, it included over a dozen locations in California, including its headquarters in San Francisco. November 18, 1978, in Guyana, followers of the group willingly took their own lives by ingesting a toxic cocktail of cyanide mixed with Flavor Aid and Valium. A total of 914 people died, including 276 children. The act was the single largest loss of American life from a deliberate act until 9/11. Number 4. The Candyman. Dean Corll, infamously known as the Candyman due to the fact that he enjoyed handing out sweets to neighborhood children, is one of the most prolific serial killers in American history. Along with his accomplices David Brooks and Elmer Henley, Corll raped, tortured, and murdered a minimum of 28 boys between the years of 1970 and 1973. Corll was killed by Henley, who is currently serving a 600-year sentence. In 2012, a filmmaker was granted permission to go through Corll's belongings. Among them, he found a Polaroid picture of a handcuffed young boy on the floor. You can also see Corll's toolbox of torture implements. The thing that makes this photo even more creepy is the fact that the boy was never identified. Number 5. Static Smiles. In 1975, 2 brothers, Sean and Michael McQuilkin, aged 12 and 18, were in Morro Rock, California, and were finding the static atmosphere comical, as can be seen in the picture. What they didn't know, however, was that they were just about to be struck by lightning. Both thankfully survived, albeit with severe burns, although one other person on the mountain wasn't so fortunate.